Hello and welcome to this video on my channel. Now, would you look at that? It's the first video I ever make where I am recording in real life and I'm using my voice. So, today we're going to be going through two amazing menus that are, well, on every Wii U gamepad. So, well, what are they? Well, first you have test mode or service mode. I think it's actually called service mode. It's actually called service mode, but people just call it test mode. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Diagnostic mode, whatever you want to call it. And then there's also something called the DK menu. No, it's not the Donkey Kong menu. It's the development kit or just dev kit menu. So, what can you do in service mode? Well, it's obvious. You just test the gamepad's functions, and it's in the gamepad itself. It's not on the console. And with the DK menu, well, you can look at the gamepad's info and change the region and set connection mode to wire to wireless, but that doesn't work on retail gamepads. And you can look at the EEPROM as well. You can clear your wireless settings if you wanted to, which just unpairs the gamepad and you have to pair it again. So, how can you access this? Well, there are three ways. You would put something in here, and then when you would turn the gamepad on, it would be looking for something in this accessory port. And I think if it responds to a certain I2C address, it will go to service mode. Your second option, I saw this on the Rare Gaming Dump Discord. It was really freaking weird. So someone went in and he had soldered the EEPROM board of the Wii U console's disk drive to the pins on the accessory port, and it responds to the same I2C address thing that thing that it expects to be in there responds to. I don't know what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is that for some reason also makes it go into service mode. And the third option, well, this is very accessible. You use a little something called DRX Util. Now, what is DRX Util? Well, it's a Wii U gamepad settings changer thing. So, to use it, you have to use a tool called DRC firmware patches. Now, what does that do? Well, you have to take the DRC firmware bin file from your Wii U's NAND, and you have to compile the DRC firmware patcher from GitHub, and then you use that tool with your bin file, and it will create a patch one. Then you also compile DRX Util. You go on Flash firmware, and you flash that modified firmware from the root of your SD card. Now, who developed this? Well, it's Mr. Gary himself. He's very amazing. So, yeah. Now, to get into test mode, you will go to Edit Device Info. Now, this will enable DK menu, and this will enable test mode. You must set it to unshipped. You get this really long warning. Just fuck it. Apply changes. Now, turn the gamepad off. And once you turn it on, you get in this amazing menu. Now, this is my Wii U gamepad info. I don't care if the MAC address is here. Just go look at it. It's from one of my many Wii U gamepad Mika 2 cards that I have. I have several of them from like gamepads that I bought and deconstructed. There's my service version. There's many different ones. I don't know the differences between them, but I know that one version, in the log menu, there'd be a dummy button which does nothing. So there's that. Now, it's got sound effects. Now, the only other place I've heard these sound effects in is TWL aging, which is for the DSi. It's also a diagnostics thing. I don't know why they call them aging things, but it's what it is. And it uses the same sounds. So what can you do? Well, you have the inspection menu, which runs tests. You have the sequence menu. In here, you can change what tests. You can enable and disable tests for each inspection thing. And then you can, like, save that. in config menu, you can change configurations in the test mode and config the inspection stuff. So, like, human timeout, that's the time it takes before, like, so, like, if you were on a test and you couldn't do it because something was wrong with the gamepad, so you couldn't progress, this would time out after 10 seconds and show a fail screen. So, if you want infinite time, you can set that to, like, 99. But I'm gonna set that to 10. There's just a bunch of other, config stuff. You can't hold down the D-pad to scroll here. You have to just press repeatedly. So, in Flash menu, you can view the system flash. And in here, you can hold down the frickin' D-pad, and it will scroll, which is really weird, inconsistent programming shit. In Select, which you go by pressing X, you have shortcuts to each location of these things. Also, the Wii U gamepad can only play like one sound at a time, so the audio can get really glitchy if you like. So anyways, then you have initialize sequence, which will reset the sequence menu stuff to defaults. So I'm going to do that because I did modify them. And you can also initialize the inspection configurations. And then when you go back, all these are on. So in UIC menu, you have the EEPROM viewer where you can see some information. So here's this very good information. You can see the gamepad is set to unshipped. This is a Japanese gamepad, of course, like on the back. JPN. So, and it shows this exclamation mark on the right if these CRCs don't match or something. And I guess this is calibration info. Mic gain. I don't know what layout var is about. Yeah. There's 11 pages of this stuff. Some kind of certificate, I guess? Well, it's something. EEPROM Viewer 2 is the same thing, but, like, it's just the hex. Right shipping flag on. That sets the gamepad to shipped, which means it will not boot into service mode. It will do its regular boot instead. And if you have it off, then it will go into service mode. Now, I don't know what reload UIC firmware is for, but when I used it and rebooted after writing shipping flag on, it showed the Wii U gamepad's sync loading screen, loading square in the bottom right, and then it just continued booting. I'll show that after I'm done with this. Log viewer. You can see logs from the factory. So you can determine when your gamepad was probably manufactured by using the dates here. So they did that, and here are like all the tests that they did. Messages that I don't understand. For microphone, it seems they somehow play like a wave file. I'm not saying WAV, I'm sorry. It seems like they somehow play a wave file into the mic. I don't know. A lot of these were my own doing. The ones with no dates here, these are when I was just messing around. Log dummy write, you can write like dummy logs. So it just writes like one of these logs of your choice with a dummy message. Erase the logs. It erases the logs, of course, and I'm not doing that because I gotta preserve these logs. Now here are my error logs. 2011. I don't know how the gamepad is supposed to save the date correctly. Great. Key count test. It just shows how many times you've pressed each key. Now there is something very interesting here. So you got LR, ZL, and ZR. Now I'm gonna press the L and R and look. What's that? It's counting up on ZL and ZR? Well, that's a remnant from the CirclePad prototype gamepad. Because, well, I guess they made this while the gamepad still had circle pads. And during that time, these were swapped. So it's like GameCube, where the triggers were L and R, and the shoulder, the GameCube controller had like a Z button. So they had these be Z buttons until they swapped them for some reason, and they did not reflect that in here. So there's that. So yeah, and you would press A and B to get out. HID data display. Wow, it's a key tester, and it shows some info in the center, and a volume meter. It also turns on the sensor bar for some reason. I don't know what the point of that is. It shows the gyro and whatever, and your volume level, and also it makes sound effects. And I have to say, this is a peak Japanese sound design, I guess. I don't know if they were made by someone at Nintendo, or if they're just taken from some really obscure free-to-use sound effects website. But I would really like to find the exact source of these sounds, and why they sound so funny. You're a factory worker working at Nintendo's factory, and you're testing these gamepads, and you hear that sound, and oh, that's so dreadful. Oh no, this game has failed, and brr 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 brr, yeah, like that. You got home button, TV, this little circle. At first I thought it was the microphone, because in the prototype Circle Pad gamepad, the microphone was right here. But no, it's actually the sync button. See, I press that. You can see it goes blue. And you got triggers, which are for some reason in a weird order. Yeah. The dot moving is really stuttery for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, you can spam the sound effects you want. Oh! If you play a sound effect and you exit with A and B at the same time, it will continue to play the sound, so that's great. And there's also another weird feature of this. If you press start or plus, it plays back the microphone for the speakers. Now, because it's, playing it for the speakers, and there's a microphone right by a speaker, it starts echoing painfully. Hello, it's me, Mario. So that's just great. That's pretty much it. There's no touch stuff here. IR test. I don't know what this does. It doesn't do any IR lights. No buttons seem to do anything. There's a lot of menus that are like this. I don't know if the people at the factory use I don't know, a computer or something. But yeah, and this in the top right is the amount of time you've been in test mode for, so, or service mode, whatever. Repair menu. We have touch panel, so you can draw on here, and also A clears the screen, and there's another button here that does something. X changes the pen size. So you can have different pen sizes. You can't change the color. They didn't program that in. So, very, very great. My touchscreen's kind of weird. But yeah. And now you have Excel. Put the DRC on a horizontal surface. Stable weight. It is doing things. I think it might be calibration. I don't know. It says not good. I don't think that's very good. I think it stopped. Oh, they have audio. Yeah, you can just play sine waves at 1 kilohertz or 125 kilohertz. Let's see if you can hear that. Yeah. And now sensor bar LED, which, well, of course, toggles the sensor bar LED. Now, why don't we inspect First we have board, which has that blank menu again. Interface, also a blank menu. LCD and key. So here's where something actually happens. So there's MAC address. There's me in the camera in a really horrible angle, so I look like crap. And just some color tests. Yeah, and the gamepad doesn't have VSync. Outrageous. Different brightness levels on that. An LED test. It cycles through all LED colors. Home button LED is on. Sensor bar. Not this LED though. And here's the key test. They want you to press the highlighted keys. Alright, the order is fucking weird. They want me to press the sync button. Alright, this is, like it says, on your mark. So you just gotta spin the stick. And I failed. I don't know how I failed, but why don't we do that again? Because I'm not gonna take that. You just gotta spam it. Just go! Yeah, very great. Let's get on with it. Speed run. Synchronize. Let's hope I don't fail. I failed again. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna disable that because, like, and let's disable the crap we've already been through, so. Just because I can't be bothered going through it again. Get out of here, slide pad. Oh yeah, that's another remnant from the circle pad, gamepad. They call it the slide pad. Alright. You may have noticed some things there as well. I'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, you have to save sequence and config. You press A and then plus no. You go here, and it will go straight to the volume test. I'm just gonna put it lower and higher. The vibrate test. Max and minimum. And, well, the unfortunate thing is, there's nothing to insert in here, so this is gonna fail. So let's just wait. Okay. So I'm gonna disable that. RFID, I tried that as well. I tried using my fucking bank card on it, and it just fails instantly, so maybe Nintendo stole my bank card, but they don't want to tell me that. Congratulations, you passed. No, touch panel and magnet. I think I have to put this flat. Let me see. Sense fail. Oh, let's try that again. Okay, we're not doing that. So, yeah, disable that. So, touch panel again. Here's the calibration. Let's do it. Very precisely. I've got kind of shaky hands, so this is not easy for me. So, it just feels like, you know, how you calibrate on the DS. Ah, yes, it has been calibrated. No, Excel. I think I have to leave it for, like, flat for this as well. It's like measuring or something. I've gotten past this before, but like I don't know what. Like, alright, here's that. So for this, I think you have to like rotate it in some ways. I remember you had to like rotate it or something. Yeah, like that. I still failed. Isn't that good? I don't understand any of this, but like... let's disable those. I might need to have those initialized, you know. You know, it might fail at the hour stuff anyways, in my experience, so let's just skip that and go to... gyro. Oh, great, another blank menu. What am I supposed to do here? Well, no one knows. And here's camera. So, there I am. And, you have to press, like, A here. And then in the next one, you have to press, ZL. And you win! So now there's Wi-Fi, and it's a blank menu. Microphone is also blank. I don't know how to use those blank menus. It sucks. I wish I could use them. I think I might have to have it flat for this one too. Okay, you're not winning at that. Finalize is also blank. So yeah, that's pretty much all you can do in the inspection menu as like a regular person who's not a factory worker. So that's pretty much everything to show here. As for like this, you can change like the display test mode thing. I don't know what the difference is. I think me having it in things like none caused more failure. But yeah, I don't know what this changes other than the string that's displayed, so... Now, the loading screen I was talking about. First, you have to reload UIC firmware. And then, wrong button. Write the shipping flag on, turn the gamepad off, and it will display the synchronized screen's loading square in the bottom right. And then it just puts like normal, as you can see. And we're back in DRX Util. Now, the other menu, the DK menu. To access this, you have to hold L and ZL. And then you're in the DK menu. Now, what can you do? Well, you go to System Information. You can see your Wii U's network crap, version, whatever it is. You can go to System Settings. You can't do the connection setting because, like, you know, there's no antenna thing up here. So, yeah, and you can change the region code. And there's only Japanese language in this, so. Clear wireless settings will unpair the gamepad, so very good. There's the error log again. And the EEPROM viewer, if you want to go and put that in HXD or something. And you can just exit. And you'd have to pair the gamepad again, so... I'll just do that later. Well, that's all I have to show for this, so... I will make another video if I get access to, I don't know. There's like 4 gold circles where the battery connector is in the back of the gamepad, and it's like a debugging thing. So if I can use that, I could do something, because maybe they use that with the test mode to do stuff with those blank looking menus. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, goodbye.